Hi, this is one of the High Priests of Khonshu, Ray, from Into the Night, a Moon Knight podcast. We're proud members of the collective, and you're listening to one of the collective members, the Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks podcast. Hope you enjoy.
Yes, that's right. Thank you, Ray. This is the Capes and Lunatics Comic Capers, episode 3. This time we're doing Man of Steel number 2 versus Man of Steel number 2. Tyler cannot join us tonight, but it's me, Phil, and coming to you from who knows where she's roaming these days. It's
home of Justice League, Detroit edition.
Oh, you gypsy.
Yeah, I'm always traveling. Blame my job. In all fairness, I didn't like issue 2 of Man of Steel originally from Byrne. And I feel like I see what Bendis is trying to do. Like, so number 2 is story of the century. And so it revolves around Lois trying to get the story, you know, the original one, the story about Superman. And this one kind of, it's like the gossip of where's Lois? And did she leave Clark? And you know what I mean? And the lady's looking for a scoop. Kind of see like he's trying to like draw the parallels, but I actually didn't like the second issue. So the fact that he's drawing kind of parallels to that second issue and his second issue, it's just gonna be kind of downhill from here for me.
Yeah, now that you mention that, I do see the parallels. I didn't see it before, but yeah, now I do. And I get that, like, I guess they're going for like different eras of Superman with these covers. But
yeah,
this cover is very misleading. There's, you know, of course, you know, the Kents are dead, so they're not in this issue. There are no flashbacks. He doesn't even mention his childhood. But
is that just a variant though? I can almost guarantee you it's just a variant.
I don't know. It doesn't say variant, but do they say?
Oh,
I don't know.
I mean, I would assume that they love the variant so much, and you know, Bendis is such a big deal that I would imagine. I can't believe that's just not a variant cover. If it's not, I do have a problem with that. I totally agree with you. It's back to the old bait and switch. I will not stand for bait and switch covers anymore. It is 2018. No.
Bad Bendis.
Bad DC. So, but no, and also, you know, I think Charlie would like this because we get an ambush bug cameo.
Oh, yes.
And you know why I hated this issue as well? Because, well, good old Hal Jordan shows up. God, I was like, Bendis, like, personally, like, he wrote this to personally offend me. That's what I felt like. I felt personally offended. The art felt very 90s, and I don't mean that as a compliment. Like, I don't know what happened from first issue to this issue, but I don't know if it's a stylistic choice or...
Isn't it? I think, didn't they say they were going to have a bunch of different artists on this? Like, I think every issue is supposed to be a different artist, but I think we seem to we got like at least 2 different artists on this issue, which it kind of killed the momentum for me. Like, if you do like one artist each issue, okay, because you at least have a week refresh, but when you change artists in the middle of a book, it kind of, like I said, it kind of killed the momentum for me.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, the pacing was kind of off too, and it's just like, I could literally care less about any of those Guardians. I just don't care about this villain. And it was like, okay, so me and Toyman, like, when you make me feel like the villain, when I was like, ugh, another puppet, I'm like, I totally agree with you about how only I would call him something.
Feminine hygiene product. No, I mean, I had no problem with Green Lantern, and again, it's like, here's an idea: Superman and Green Lantern on the cover, if that's the way you're going, Bendis.
Well, you know, not everybody likes Green Lantern, contrary to popular belief.
I know, but I mean,
so it's just like that might have been like a detriment. Like, that's a bait and switch cover to lure you in, like, ooh, the Kent, okay.
Or just give us a pin up of Superman flying over the city, you know, because like I said, the Kents aren't in the issue. There you go.
Spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers. Well, they're dead in this continuity. I don't know. That's a big spoiler.
You just never know with DC, though.
And Bendis. I told you and Tyler, I told you last week, we would not get the answer to what happened to Lois and John. We got like a 2-page spread, and it's like, oh, something alien or something popped out.
I know. Like, and shout out to the New Justice sneak peek. That was the most entertaining thing about this book this week. The sneak peek for New Justice.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And you know how I feel about Damian, especially with that whole Titans team. So, and for that to be the most interesting thing about the book for me.
I'm going to at least give the Titans book a shot because, you know, Nightwing, but I don't know. Even just looking at Damian's book, I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to pick this up.
I'm going to keep my $4 on that one. Now, maybe if it was $2.99, maybe I would pick it up. I'm just going to be real petty about it now.
And I picked up the first issue of the New Justice League book today, but I'm not going to pick up any of those other ones.
I'm trying to give Bendis the benefit of the doubt because I really want to start reading Superman again. I want to fall in love with him again. And it's just like, Bendis makes it so hard. I think people need to just go back to basics about Superman. Like, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. He doesn't need to be edgy and gritty or remade for a new generation. No, why people like Superman is the Christopher Reeves version. You know what I mean? There's a reason why, you know, people have fan wank and back scratch and backtrack about Man of Steel. Like, yeah, you can be a Superman fan and you can like the cinematography, but if you really kind of like the characterization of Superman, I think you're kind of lying to yourself in Man of Steel and the Justice League movies. I'm just saying, if you're a particular age.
Well, I think if you're a true Superman fan, you're not going to like the recent DC movies because, you know, they play Superman darker along with most of that universe, and Superman's not the dark character. Batman is.
And I felt it kind of odd that they're making Wonder Woman, the Superman, the symbol of hope, and it's just like...
Well, that's them trying to course correct.
Yeah. So I'm just like really trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. I want to fall back in love, but I just feel like, what does Superman even do besides fly around and antagonize Toyman? Oh, sorry, the Toyman. Not get that twisted.
He's all sad and mopey because his family's gone. I have a theory on that too.
Ooh, what's your theory?
Well, I was looking at, they had a description for, it was either Superman #1 or Action 1001, and they said something about, I think they said Earth is stuck in the Phantom Zone.
Oh, like when Zod and his wife and kid were stuck in there?
Oh, I don't know if it was saying the whole planet's stuck in the Phantom Zone, so I have a theory, because at first I was like, oh, are Lois and John stuck in the Phantom Zone?
That was my initial thing too, yeah.
But what if Lois and John got off Earth, and Clark and everyone else are trapped in the Phantom Zone, and Lois and John got out?
I would like that twist, but it's Bendis, so it's probably going to be the other way around.
Yeah, I know.
Twist, it's Candor.
Yeah, I know. And is this the new bad guy, or is this Lobo?
Okay, right? I was like, is that Ghost Rider? Or what the hell? Is this the wrong?
I appreciate what Bendis is doing in the end here, but don't we get this story every couple years with Perry White's like, oh, newspapers are dying, or we got bought, or...
Well, but it is true to nature. They're like, everything's just
it is true,
one
yes.
big conglomerate, and especially with media. So, you know,
yes,
I'll give him that. But yeah, I'm tired of that Daily Planet. I was tired of it when Smallville did it.
At least give us a fresh take, you know, something different. Start a website, people.
Oh man, you just hear people complain about all the pop-up ads. Damn bloggers and their pop-up ads.
Would you buy it if like the Daily Planet went to like a 24-hour news, like a TV news?
Say Channel 52 bought them out?
Something like that, yeah. Or they compete with Channel 52.
I don't know. I do think, you know, written journalism and like TV news journalism are two different things. A lot of the time.
Well, in the 70s,
especially with the old guard of Perry White, he's like the last of a dying breed, literally.
Well, I mean, that could be an interesting take. It's like, well, Perry White, he's a reporter at heart, so it's like, what do you do if you have to go to TV news, or do you retire?
Get out of the news game. News ain't news no more. Like just a quick aside. When news started being for profit, that's when things got really crappy. That's all I'm saying. Like, a newspaper needs to be for profit, but like the news on network, you need to take a loss on that one so that things can actually stay fair and balanced. Just saying. So you're not beholden to advertisers and things like that. But anyway, I digress.
I know. So I mean, what's going to happen next? Politics or politicians in it for profit?
You shut your mouth, Philip.
So
I'm surprised there's not anything really controversial. It's just kind of like, I felt like I was back in high school and I was at lunch with all the gossip that was flying around in like the first 7 pages or whatever. I'm like,
Lois and John.
She got a book deal? Like, I don't even remember that.
Unless Bendis wrote that, because I don't think
that in like Action
she might
Comics or something. Like, I don't remember where that came up at. I was just like, okay.
I think right before Rebirth, maybe, or I think she was writing a book. I think it was right before Clark came back to the planet. She might have got a book deal. I'm trying to remember. Unless Bendis just made that up.
I think he might have just made it up. He might have pulled it out of his Bendis.
But I just wonder why Clark's keeping it a secret. I mean, Lois obviously isn't dead, but...
What's he going to tell him? Aren't her parents dead in this continuity too?
No, no, because they...
The General's still alive?
Yeah, Sam Lane's still alive, because in Action 999, they like had him over for dinner and kind of reconciled and stuff.
Then she's at her parents' house. Like, what is he doing? Does Clark have Asperger's now? Like, really? Like, what's going on?
Well, thank the Bendis. Trying to protect his identity or something, or
because
he doesn't know what happened. I don't know. But why isn't he telling the league?
Like, when does Superman keep secret? He's a blabbermouth.
Bendis.
I mean, I guess I'm trying to give it the benefit of the doubt.
Me too.
And I'm gonna say that I would give Byrne Man of Steel #2 a B-, almost a C+, just because that story just didn't work for me. It's just like, it's something about Lois getting scooped, like I like by Clark Like, I just don't. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's just something that didn't sit right with me about that.
Well, I think it like later issues in that era, like she held that grudge, and once she found out he was Superman and they were engaged and stuff, he's like, well, Lois, I had to do that. That's how I got my job at the Planet, is coming in with this. And how are you gonna screw me? I was writing about myself.
I like how they did it in Lois and Clark though, where he was just hired on his own merit from doing those weird round the world kind of things. You know what I mean? So I've always kind of not liked that whole thing. So it's just
but I think it was like a down and dirty thing too, because it's like it's right after Crisis. Byrne had like 6 issues to like retell the first couple years of Superman. So
yeah, I know you have to condense. And what is like Bendis isn't condensing? He is lollygagging. Like, I don't even know what's going on in this story. Like, what was the point of this story? I
don't know. Yeah,
we didn't even get any like the villain that he's like his little mark on Superman. Like, we didn't really even get like the beginning of those pages. I guess that was boring.
I understand that he wants to do like the secret origin of the destruction of Krypton in this, but it's like this really isn't even like Superman's origin story. So why did we need this 6-issue miniseries? Why couldn't this be Superman 1 and Action 101?
Because he wants to feel special.
He wants to milk it.
Like, I'm not even gonna lie. If I got a chance to write Superman, no, I wouldn't be like this. Honest to God, I would, because I'm such a fangirl. I would literally do what the fans want. Like, don't milk it. Don't like write at a trade pace. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think I would actually do.
Yeah, again, I want to give him the benefit of the doubt, but yeah, I don't want mopey Superman. I want him to go out there and maybe do like the opposite of the grounded arc. Remember that fiasco? Just, you know what? I haven't done enough to inspire humanity, and just him in this mission and him trying to inspire like world peace. And
Lord knows we need it. Like, that's the Superman we actually literally need right now.
Yes, exactly.
It's like, I don't need this mess. I need my real Superman.
Things are dark enough. We need Superman to like, bring some light,
At this point, I would settle if he adapted Quest for Peace. Like, I just don't like what he's doing.
Oh my Lord. When Charlie and I talked to Peter David, did you hear Peter David's whole thing about Superman 4?
Yeah.
He's like, his movie would have been so different when Superman's like, I'm going to get rid of all nuclear weapons. And UN just went, what? We need to get Lex Luthor to stop it.
Yeah, nobody comes between the world powers and their nukes and their stockpiles of weapons. Not even Superman.
Realistic, yeah. Oh, did you read the new Justice League #1 today?
No, for what?
With Scott Snyder, I mean, it was all right. It was an all right start. It kind of reminded me, like, I don't know if he's like trying to, not completely, but I got like inklings of like old Grant Morrison JLA.
Well, that's a compliment at least.
Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, I read this before I even read this issue, but I guess they're going to try to make like Lex isn't going to be so much Superman's enemy in this arc, is more like John Jones.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, thank God, I like Martian Manhunter.
Well, because they made John the chairman of the league, so
good for him. Like, I felt so bad when I gave up on his book. They were trying to go somewhere with it, and they just didn't get to an interesting point enough before I left, and then it got canceled, much like Cyborg.
Well, that was New 52 though too.
That was cameo central. Like, every other issue was a cameo.
But yeah,
you know what? Is this book gonna turn into that? Like, I was like, 2 cameos, really? And we're doing Toyman. What is this, Supergirl? Like, come on, we're so past the Toyman era.
And I kind of knew it was Toyman. I mean, he kind of like, who's in the room?
It's like, dude, it's a big Voltron. Come on, who else is that gonna be?
Exactly.
Like, nothing surprised me in this issue. That's why I'm just kind of like.
And I told you, I knew last week. I'm like, he's not gonna tell us what happened to Watch, we're gonna have to wait for issue 6 to find out what happened to Lois and John.
That's gonna be poor. I'm just gonna call it, if that's what he's doing, that's poor storytelling. That's, I just left. I didn't want to deal with them. That's what this is. If that's the case, that means he didn't want to deal with those 2 characters.
No,
he wanted Superman to be footloose and fancy free, and then he's like, okay, now you can have them back. I'm done.
Oh, the fire chief can flirt with him, and then he's gonna tickle everyone's butt with a feather until the end of issue 6, where he shows what happens to Lois and John, and then it's gonna be like, this, find out how Superman saves them. Pick up that Superman 1 in Action 1001.
Exactly. I mean, and you can't fault the industry standard for that. That's probably a mandate. He has to work around those things, but this was boring. Like, I was just really bored.
Yeah, it's like I'm always like, well, this has been this problem too, because he does this a lot of times. Like, you'll get an issue where it's like 20 pages of talking, or like people looking at each other and go, what did you say? I don't know. Why did you say that? I don't know. Why did you say that? And then like two pages of punching.
And we didn't even get well, yeah, we got more than 2 pages of punching, thank goodness. But I don't know, like I said, I was kind of bored, and like this just isn't this is not what I like. I don't think he's setting a good precedent to draw people in.
No, like I said, it's like Mopey's Superman, which I understand because his wife and son are missing. But
if I want Mopey, I'll watch Angel. Just saying.
At least give me some answers. Like what happened to them?
No, I will say it's probably it is too early for answers, but like he didn't even hint at it at all. Like it's just like, oh well, I don't care.
That's what I'm saying. Like you were saying, I'm just worried that it's him. Like, oh, I didn't want to have to deal with Lois and John.
That's what it's starting to feel like.
Because this is
it's like, are you just gonna do that to them every issue then? Because this is the Superman that you inherited. This is what the fans wanted. We literally spoke with our money. This is what we want. So if you're gonna come into DC, you better dicking around about that.
It's gonna be like this. It's gonna be like the Spider-Man syndrome, like when he was married to Mary Jane, and when there were certain writers who didn't want to deal with her. It's like, oh, she's out of town on a modeling thing or something, and it's like, is that gonna be Bendis's thing with?
We
Lois?
can't have that stand as fans. We can't have that.
I mean, is Bendis gonna have Lois out of town on a story at like every other arc?
She can't take John with him. Is he supposed to be in school or whatever?
Who knows? But we're getting that Super Sons maxi series, so who knows? You know, if
he probably said, "Yeah, go ahead," so I don't have to deal with him either.
Exactly.
What is he like? You cannot dismantle this. Like we the fans have waited so long for this, and it's so much dynamic storytelling you can tell from this familial point of view.
I mean, I understand people have like their own writing styles and like the way they want to do things, but it's
he likes quippy women. So I mean, Lois is the epitome of a quippy woman.
Exactly.
So what is the deal?
I don't know.
He wants his own OC.
He wants to create his own. I mean, look, I love Jessica Jones, but Bendis creation.
Yeah.
He doesn't want. He wants to create his own women.
I won't be worried until issue 3, just to be honest. Like, you have to find your footing. This is an iconic character.
Ooh, issue 3 of Byrne's Man of Steel. We got Batman. I wonder if we're gonna get Batman next.
No, we won't get
Batman. Rub his Bendis over Batman now.
They're not gonna let him do that. We'll have another cameo. I guarantee you, but it probably won't. It might be Nightwing. Sorry, Phil.
Don't you touch him, Bendis.
Burn.
We'll burn it down.
So yeah, I don't know. Like this one is a strong C- for me on the Bendis side of things.
I'll give it a straight up C, just for like the pacing. Like we said, it's kind of slow, but I never know if that's like the writer. And I know Bendis, his pacing a lot of times is slow, but is that for the trade? You know, they write for the trades anymore because they.
But when you look at the Byrne, it's like, God, I wish we had more issues. That should have been a 12-issue maxi series versus 6. All the story that he had to tell with that. But this one is just like.
Yeah, but I mean, in 86, they were. I mean, they didn't milk it. They got.
I think we should get back to that. And if you like it, you can revisit it because everybody loves the Dark Knight and dipping and dabbing back into things that should not be touched. Watchmen. Sorry, Phil.
That's okay.
So yeah, I don't. And like I said, the artwork was really weird for me. Coach horses.
Well, like I said, it was weird too because you switched artists
like midstream. Literally, it was just
and like very different styles. So it's very
90s.
It's like going 60 down the road, and all of a sudden you hit like this big speed bump, and it's like, oh, wait, what?
I didn't even have a favorite page. Like I was just like so perplexed by everything. Like I felt like the lettering was a little not as sharp as it could be. Like I don't know if it's because it's Bendis. Like I'm just being like super critical. Like I literally took my time and read it like 3 times just to make sure it wasn't just me being like Bendis.
You know what the problem is? I mean, it's kind of the problem we had with New 52 Superman, and I think this was your. I know you don't like Hal Jordan, but this was the problem with Hal Jordan. He was using the plot device to this issue to show that like Superman's all walled off now because he's all lonely, and this is the same problem New 52 had. The more you isolate Superman, the more you're like, this isn't this isn't Superman. This isn't a good Superman story. That's the thing. He's the alien from the other planet, but he's more human than like say your Batman. And
Byrne said it best in the first issue of Man of Steel. He's like, I might have been conceived in the cold of space, but I was born here in America, and this is what makes me human, and Earth makes me human. So and I guess that's probably like my ideal Superman. You know what I mean? That's how I like my Superman.
And I mean, Byrne brought his parents back, so he had someone to confide in and he could talk to. And what the Bendis does the complete opposite. He takes Lois and John away. So Clark has no one he can could confide in the Justice League, but he's not doing it.
Well, they're kind of bumbling idiots at this point, so I kind of don't blame him. Like, I mean, since Rebirth, I wouldn't trust any of the Justice League either.
But I mean, he can't talk to Batman, who, spoiler alert from today's issue of Batman Prelude to the Wedding, Nightwing versus Hush #1. Superman is going to be Batman's best man. I guess. Nightwing. Yeah, I guess he's going to be. He's going to be the ring bearer, or I don't know, but I guess Nightwing and Superman, at least the two of them are going to be groomsmen. But yeah, Superman's the best man, I guess.
Thanks for that spoiler.
And Batman wonders why none of these Robins have any respect for him.
I know, it's just like anyway.
It's like, why don't you? I mean, I know they're pushing that friendship, but it's like
it's always been an uneasy friendship at best. Like, let's just be real.
I mean, you consider like all these Robins like your sons, and especially this last one. I mean, love or hate Damien, he is actually your son.
Wait, we got the DNA test back on that?
Well, who knows? I haven't read Deathstroke yet.
Just a mess.
You're not going to pick a Robin or hell, even Alfred,
right?
I mean, either pick one of your sons or your father over your best friend.
Like I said, Batman and Superman's friendship is tenuous and strained at best on a good day. Just saying, very uneasy alliance. This is the way that I take it. But
don't even get me started on the new Catwoman costume with the exposed armpits.
I mean, Tally's got the zipper. She's got to have something else.
it's just like holes in the armpits. It's like
side boob, a little side boob action.
I don't even think. I think it's all you can see. I think is like underarm or armpit. I'm sorry.
Well, somebody might have a armpit fetish. I mean, Joss Whedon has a foot fetish. You just never know.
Every time I see it, all I think is like, oh, does that keep her from sweating or something?
You're a mess. Just like this issue. Better luck next time, Bendis.
And I still challenge you, Mr. Bendis, to come on and explain your choices.
I could write a dissertation on everything that's wrong with this Superman from the first two issues. I'm serious. Like, I think people really need to realize what people need from Superman, what makes Superman so special. Like, there should be like a class that they make the writers take before they start writing Superman. I don't know.
I mean, yes, he's a superhero, but they forget to write. I don't know. There's a way to write him without as like this beacon of hope and without making him like dorky. And I don't know if people have got it the last couple years.
Yeah, I think people, the big blue Boy Scout, and that people just aren't like that, and people just don't like that stuff anymore. You'd be surprised. Just try it.
And I think this recent take with him as a family man has worked good. And then Bendis kind of just like throws
sales
were
back up. Exactly. I know sales were down when we had casual Superman Friday. I know nobody liked that.
It doesn't matter. We have Bendis. He could do whatever he wants, and sales will be up. Yeah, we'll see.
No,
we'll see. Let's see where sales are at after this miniseries.
Yeah, I'm gonna be curious to see what Superman #1 looks like.
I mean, I bet you #1 that I didn't look at any numbers, but I bet you #1 did good in sales. But let's see what happens. Going forward.
I'm still excited. Next issue of Man of Steel by Byrne is like one of my favorites. It's 3 and 6 that are my favorites out of the run.
Batman.
So, yeah, I like how he explored that between those two. God, do you really think Bendis might have his grubby little hands on Batman?
I hope not.
I don't think it would be a direct parallel like that. Like I said, like Lois was looking for a story. This lady was looking for a story, but in a different way. So
I don't know how big of a parallel can you do, Bendis? You've shuffled Lois off somewhere.
Yeah. I'm getting nervous. So this is the thing. Like, if you're gonna have Lois and John disappear, make it a mystery and give us clues. Like, I really don't have anything to theorize or go on. You know what I mean?
Like I said, I think in like an upcoming solicit, it might even be for like after this miniseries. I swear I saw something about the Phantom Zone, so that's why I was thinking if that
you shouldn't have to go looking at solicits for clues. Is my point? It should be within your story
right here. Oh, well, we got one page, some big alien machine thing or robot or something appeared. Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to be down on Bendis, like I said, but
no, I wanted this to work, and it's just.
I mean, it's not an F. It's not a complete failure. There are some redeemable things about it. It's just kind of weird he didn't take this time to explore like Perry White, or you know what I mean, like the side characters, especially now that Lois and John are out. You can like kind of flesh out these other characters that need it.
I mean, it seems like he wanted to do that with Perry White this issue, but really didn't.
He got distracted by big shiny robots. I know.
That's all right. Like I said, like you said, it's not like we had much this issue though.
Yeah.
Which I guess, do you think maybe he's like, oh, it's a weekly series, you don't have to throw everything at every issue.
If anything, he should have took from Byrne should have been how much information and the pacing of it,
or even ramped it up. We should have been like, wow, that one went by fast. The pacing was so quick.
So like the fire is still a thing though, and I'm just like, okay, so that guy's like an arsonist. He's like a pyromaniac. He loves fire. Like, is that what you're telling me? Like, or you're a pyromaniac, Bendis? Like, I don't know where he's going with this.
And why isn't Superman like using like his vision powers?
He said it didn't work.
Or even like talking to that female fire chief that Bendis had to like shove in there. Yeah. Then talk to her and be like looking for clues to find this arsonist. He's an investigative reporter. Why isn't he investigating?
He's a glorified blogger. Shut your mouth.
Well, Bendis
It's 2018. Everybody's a glorified blogger.
I resemble that remark.
I know. Me too.
All right. Are we done?
Yes. Send us your thoughts on the issues so far. And if we're crazy or do you agree? What kind of Superman do you want to see? Let us know. And Phil, how can the lovely folks let us know their opinions?
So yes, is Bendis' approach working for you? Is it not working for you? What do you want to see? Do you want to see a return to the Byrne era? You can always email us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook at Comic Capers, on Twitter at Comic Capers Pod, and at CL Sidekicks. Find CL Sidekicks on Instagram also. And the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And Lilith, where can people talk to you about comics?
So if you're still watching Supergirl, we got 2 more episodes. June 18th is the season finale. At Lilith Hellfire, if you want to live tweet that with me. For everything else, especially if you love Superman, at Save Me Pod, Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, and Instagram. Again, Twitter, Pinterest, and Instagram. I'm gonna make that a thing. Pinstagram is gonna be a thing. It's gonna be
my Lord, you're sober too. Oh Lord,
I'm sick. I'm sorry. I'm on NyQuil, so.
Okay.
So Philip, where can Bendis get a hold of you if he wants to book an interview?
Mr. Bendis, if you want to come on, like I said, and explain your decisions, you can always email me, nightwingpdp@gmail.com, and on Twitter, I am at nightwingpdp. All right, so join us next week for Man of Steel #3 versus Man of Steel #3. Like we said, we're on the Byrne issue, we get Batman, Bendis, who knows what we'll get. But send us your thoughts.
We'll get Wonder Woman. He's going to spark that relationship back up.
Let's throw every woman but Lois at Superman.
We'll get that mermaid lady.
He's stealing Charlie's ideas.
Like, honest to God, that's what I feel like. We're going to get the mermaid lady.
Join us next week.